People say I'm brainwashed because I chose the life that I wanted to live instead of living the life that my parents lived. Must be brainwashed because I can imagine possibilities beyond my exposure as opposed to living the life that myself and others around me were exposed to. I must be brainwashed to share the limelight with another person equally as deserving to be in that light with. I must be brainwashed to work tirelessly, doing everything I can, burning down my own ego and my own pride so that a family can prosper and thrive. I must be brainwashed to think that what I am blessed with is produced by my own capability as opposed to my request. Gotta be brainwashed. To think that my value does not look like paperwork, like certificates and money and decrees of love. Value extends beyond that. It looks more like morals and character and values. I'm a person that believes that my value is determined by what I do and don't do versus the paper that I can rack up to show you. But I'm brainwashed by the thought that I could teach my child that there's more to life than labels, and that at the end of the day, it's not about what people label you as, it's about what you're willing to show and build consistency in that will create the identity for you. Brainwashed. I'm not even going to get into religion, but brainwashed. Hmm. And yet, running parallel to individuals like me, you have people that believe when you put your money in the bank, it actually sits there until you come back to get it. But I'm brainwashed. You allowed a collection of people to tell you that you can only have value and recognition if your life looks like this. But I'm brainwashed. So many people fall victim to peer pressure and trying to keep up with the Joneses and spending your hard-earned money just to look like you are right. But I'm brainwashed. The things people do to keep their friends or keep them convinced that they're cool or that they're not just a unique vibe all to themselves. And somebody like me believes that being unique and unapologetically you is the way to go, because at the end of the day, I just love the fact that I'm a fingerprint and there is no way to duplicate. That way, I have no reason to believe there's a reason to be in competition with anybody, because there is no one that can play this area better than I play it, because there is no one like me. There's only one of me. Why be in competition? With who? For what? I am who I am, and my mother and my father made me. Why look at anyone else and doubt yourself and shrink yourself and make yourself smaller because they have more or they did more or they're shining brighter? In reality, they just put in more work than you. So it looks like you might need to look in the mirror and see what you're willing to go through to have what you're looking at. It's a simple fix. But so many turn it into insecurity. So many people give themselves the rationalization to tell themselves, I can't, because you see someone else making their life into I can, and you came up with doubts instead of inspiration. But I'm brainwashed. I have never looked out into this life and saw something I can't put my hands on. The only difference between me having something and not having something is if I want it. Life is not complicated. Manifestation is not complicated. And I've always felt that way. And anything that I want, I can have because I'll put in the work for the things that I want. The things I don't have, I don't put in the work for, and that's why I don't have them. To me, that just makes logical sense. But I run alongside people that believe there's a reason why they can't have, or an excuse why they can't have, or a rationalization why they can't have. And though I'm the type of person to live a life that they've never even asked themselves could they live, they can take that decision and make somebody brainwashed because they're willing to choose something that they didn't even know was possible to choose. Brainwashed for thinking nobody can shrink you. Brainwashed for thinking you have the power to react or respond however you choose to. Brainwashed for thinking there are no real hindrances in life outside of the walls inside your own mind. Brainwashed. Brainwashed for thinking easier said than done is just a cop out. Brainwashed. Brainwashed for thinking, can I, is a cop out or an excuse. But brainwashed. Brainwashed for thinking that if you look out into nature, you'll get the answer for every question you will ever have. Brainwashed for thinking that your mind could take you further than any book can. The idea of free thinking can be endless. You can come up with possibilities and creativity that extends past anybody's line of thinking. Reading it in a book just means somebody already thought about it before. When you can just sit with peace and allow your wheels to turn and see what you come up with, allow your creativity to flow, I think that's your highest self. But what do I know? I'm brainwashed. I think the most powerful people are the people that can teach the most but continue to learn. I think the purest people are children. And that the closer you can become to maintaining your childlike mindset, the closer you are to your freedom. I think that unconditional love is possible, but fear teaches us to build restrictions. I think you can literally be anything in this life that you choose to be. But what do I know? I'm brainwashed.